Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Dano, and I. But unfortunately, Dano's stuck in the Windy City doing some work. Hopefully, he'll be rolling in a little later. Tonight, we have Drew Waholek. I told you I was gonna butcher it right when I needed not to.
You're awful. I think I just need to leave now.
But we'll be with Drew in just a little bit. Stay tuned for a great show. Thank you for joining us. Don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, everybody. We're back with my partner in crime, Toledo Jess. If this is your first time here, welcome. Welcome to the Flash in Your Pan family. If you would be inclined to hit the subscribe and the bell notification down below. What the heck's going on around here? I'm having a bunch of technical difficulties today, apparently. My OBS isn't cooperating with me. Or I'm not cooperating with it. I see we have our good friends in the room from all over the country and neighboring states. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We have Drew Waholek with us. Gets worse each time, don't it? He's a he's a metal detectorist and a collector of all things, and I've been finding out recently that he's into all kinds of treasures, from bottles to fossils to relics and coins. But before we bring in Drew, I want to first of all say, John Shaw, I'm glad to know you're all right. Sorry about your truck. Thank you for your hospitality, Spike Littlejohn, with our friend John, who's a long ways from home right now. And what else? Nothing really, except make sure you come to the Ohio GPAA Golden Treasure Show, October 27th and 28th at,
Did you call me in yet?
Yeah, sure. Come on in, Jesse.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
At the Clark County Fairgrounds. It's one of those nights, people. But
I think I should just carry on.
No,
There
you're
you
not
go.
allowed in. Back to your corner. Now.
Fine.
Emily Rydell will be with the Flash in Your Pan crew in the panning booth. Oh, get your face back up here, Jesse. But
Yeah, we get to rub elbows with Emily.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's at the Clark County Fairgrounds, October 27th and 28th, hosted by the GPAA and the Buckeye chapter, Tri-State chapter, and Central Indiana chapters, I believe. If not, let me know, Patrick. Your roommate from Fossick is in the room. Drew, Patrick, and Susie.
Hey guys. Hey, listen, I want to apologize ahead of time because I'm on my phone and I cannot see any chats that are going on. So if anybody's got any questions, you guys are going to have to catch those questions in the chat.
I will relay them.
Well, Patrick says I'm correct on the chapters info, and we'll do our best to relay them to you, Drew.
So what did you hear about what happened to John? You said something about he got into a pretty bad accident.
Well,
He says he got hit by a car there in South Carolina.
yeah, he was leaving Spike Littlejohn's and totaled his truck.
Oh yeah, he says he stopped in front of him. South Carolina car stopped in front of me. Ouch.
His dredge survived. Good news.
Good.
As I really care less about the gear, my friend John.
Yeah.
I care more about you. That's what I care about. And it's a plus the dredge survived. That's a plus.
Yeah. The accident sucks.
Yeah, the accident totally sucks. We have Jason, the quarter hoarder, in the house. Welcome, Jason.
What's up, buddy?
And
MacGyver Muscle Machine's here. David Villa's here, and the one and only great Sharon.
Oh yeah,
he's with us
the
tonight.
world's
He's always
greatest moderator.
Know it.
And Brother Joe and Mojo, the Gold Wolves
Jersey
in the
History
house.
Hunters here with us tonight.
The Hooks,
and Brother Joseph
Hookers are here.
Zero Discrimination is with us tonight too, digging Canuck. And look, your better half is here too.
Your better half's here. Jocelyn Drew said I should have used the Photoshop version of the picture on the thumbnail.
Good job, buddy. I'm going to remember that.
Hey, Jocelyn, remind me to use that one next time I have Drew on, okay?
That's all right. I got some good ones for her.
You'll have to send me some when next time I have the pleasure of having Jocelyn on.
Yeah, she says you look good in that helmet.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you all for coming. Hi, Liz and Jersey History Hunters. Charlie's show must be over at Reeser's Treasure Emporium. Gypsy Jules is in the house. I actually got my stickers, Gypsy. Thank you very much. I'll have to put those up next to my reliquary cover of stickers when I find a really good spot to put them up.
Oh, did she send you one for me too? Is that why you got two?
Well,
I'll
I'll give you one. You're my bro.
Are you feeling left out? Because I got one already too.
I'll have to work on one for Dano now.
Yeah, you gotta remind people when you send us stuff, you gotta do it in threes.
There's 3 of us.
Hats, T-shirts, stickers.
Well, she gave
Go
the offer
bags,
on a
you know, all that
video
stuff.
of hers and just said, email your address, and I did. And because you know how I am about stickers, I'm still like a teenager with stickers. They're like all over. So, she sent
Buster
me
Knuckles
that.
is with us tonight.
Hey, Sean, how you doing? But from Busted Knuckles down under, we are, all of us, getting a hat
Cool.
and a sticker, I believe it is. I'd have to look back at the message, but
That's right, Jonathan. Joseph, you only set one trap with Ed.
oh, I see him now. Oh no, only get one trap. Well, you drove right past his house almost. You could.
Well, I didn't know he was right there. I was right
house.
there, and I didn't know he was there. I mean, you know. Oh well.
Next time, because I
Next
know
time.
one thing, we're going back there. I did really good in that one day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I'm sure we have some friends there that could take us to some pretty nice spots too.
Betting you we can.
Yeah, buddy. Do you have a rant tonight, Jesse? Show your mug. All I see is your minor, dude.
No, he's all right. He's fine.
Oh yeah, he's.
We
fine.
have a guest. We have a guest.
That's true. That's true. It's here. So I'll put that little minor down and bring Drew up. Ta-da! So.
Do I have a rant?
Just a little one. A big one? Don't be too long, though. We do have a guest tonight.
Right. That's why I didn't think about one. I do have one.
We have a guest almost every week.
I know. But I didn't prepare, so not that I ever do. I'm just trying to make excuses for not doing one tonight.
Okay, very good. For without any further to do, let's bring in our friend. I can actually call him a friend, I believe so. I met him, camped right next to him. The other half of a great team. Sorry, I'll try not to do that to you, Drew. But our friend Drew, a lot of you out there might know him as Relic Recoverist's boyfriend.
The other guy.
The other guy. But
hey, we already got a question for you, Drew.
What's up?
MacGyver Muscle Machine wants to know what's your favorite find.
My girlfriend, of course. No, really.
You get to sleep in the house tonight.
No, man, that's a tough call. I found a lot of great stuff over the years. I get asked that. I'd have to say recent top favorite would have to be my Continental Army button.
Cool.
That would be my recent favorite. Yeah.
So what's a Continental? Well, is that like from the
Revolutionary War? Yeah, it's made out of pewter. It's got USA on it, and came out of a nice little farm field down in Maryland.
Cool. I mean, yeah, some of us aren't really metal detectorists. You know, like I'm not really a metal detectorist. So when you say stuff like that, I don't always know what you're talking about. So that's why I asked that question.
Gotcha.
Well, what's that?
Gotcha.
Now Jason wants to know, where'd you dig her up
at? Some bar in North Philly? No. No, actually through
End of
a
the night, but
through a mutual friend that I detect with, that we both detect with. You know, it was supposed to be a small business venture, and I was actually going to give her a job, and one thing led to another, and well, here we are.
Excellent, excellent.
she
Cool.
hired you instead, huh?
I guess so. I guess so. I'm the extra in the videos.
Yeah.
Now, from a question from our mutual friend, Patrick O'Masters. Hey, Drew, any thoughts on dowsing?
You know, I've had a couple small experiences seeing people play with that. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. I had one experience on a permission here in Philly that really totally freaked me out. The lady was playing with dowsing rods there. They were trying to locate unmarked burials, and it really weirded me out because it was one of those days where they left, and I was out in the baseball field metal detecting after they were done doing their little dowsing thing, and I hit a 1218 on the E-track, 1218, 1218, 1218. And I'm like, it's just another pull tab. So I went to walk away from it, and it was just like something just like hit me. It was like, dig that signal. And I took another step, and it was like, dig that signal. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. I dug it. Well, it turned out it was a gold ring.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I was really weirded out that day. That just totally weirded me out. I mean, I can't say it had anything to do with anything, but it was coincidence that they were playing with dowsing rods looking for burials, you know, for this church. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I've seen it done. I see Ed do it all the time. We've even shot a couple of videos.
I watched the guys walking around at Fossick trying to do it, looking for the gold nugget.
And I was way off.
You were
that
way
was pretty
off.
interesting. It was, that was definitely some good comic relief.
We always need that, right? Somebody, I don't know, somebody asked in here a minute ago, what got you into metal detecting?
That was Liz, the digging canoe.
Oh, okay.
So I started out, man, we'll take it back to the very beginning. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see behind me, there's a lot of die-cast toy cars and stuff. My dad collects a lot of things. We collect a lot of things here. But we'll take it back. I can remember being as young as 2 and 3, getting drug into antique stores. I remember a specific clock shop that we took my great-grandmother's mantle clock to have it repaired. I remember, you know, just being told to walk around with my hands behind my back and look, don't touch. And I would go into these places, and he would take me to auctions. We would go looking for fossils and arrowheads, anything that we could surface find. Fast forward a little bit, 1986, my brother's born. He gets into outhouses and privies and dump digging for bottles. So he kind of gets me a little hooked on that. I mean, I like it. I enjoy it. I know how to do it. But I did that for several years. I mean, I truly just enjoy playing in the dirt. And then I was living out in central Illinois. I went to visit some friends for a 2-week vacation. Wound up living there for 8 years, getting married, getting divorced, having a kid. You know, it was a magical experience. Everybody should go to Illinois at least once. And, but I had a next door neighbor, and we would talk, and I would talk about bottle digging and looking for outhouses. I dug the 2 wood-lined pits in my next door neighbor's yard, pulled some spectacular flasks and pawned stuff out of there. Early glass. Probably pulled my favorite bottle out of that privy too. It was a Julius Dietken Pharmacist, Deadwood, South Dakota. And I think, and it's only like a 1880s, 1890s. It's not too old, but it's Deadwood, South Dakota, like one of those major Wild West towns.
Right.
Been
So that one,
cool
that's
place.
probably one of my top favorite bottles I've ever done. But getting back to my neighbor, the at the time the E-Track was like a brand new machine. It was the new hot thing. His wife had bought him one for Christmas, and he suggested, "Hey, why don't you try doing this since you're into digging?" Okay, take it around the yard, start popping wheat pennies and silver coins, and I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, I got to take this out and explore. Got on the internet, and I mean, it was, God, I think Facebook was pretty new at the time. And then there was MySpace and whatnot. And I got online, and I wound up hooking up with a guy that lived down outside of Springfield, Illinois. He took me to a Civil War campsite that he knew of and had permissions for. It was all in farm fields, so it was great. It was nice, easy digging. We were pulling bullets, and we wound up getting into trash pits. It was like I was spoiled right off the bat. Like, I mean, it was like an amazing machine with amazing digging conditions, and it was like it was handed to me right at the beginning. But I was hooked. So I joined the local club. I wound up buying a Mine Lab 30. I think they called them the Mine Lab 30 at the time. I think now it's a 305, but it was like the first generation of the 305. Used that for a while, and it wound up taking a crap on me. So my dad bought me an Ace 250 for Christmas one year. I used that, found a ton of great stuff with that machine. And then a very good friend of mine offered me a hell of a deal on an E-Track. And that's what I've been swinging, God, last 6 years now, I think.
That's wound up to be your favorite machine then?
It's what I'm used to. It's what I'm comfortable with. I've been exploring other machines lately. I've been exploring the Garrett products a little more. It's kind of like being a mechanic. I'm figuring this out after almost 14 years of doing this.
Right.
It's the right tool for the right job. It's the right machine for the right site.
Right.
And you can go in with the top of the line $2,500 Mine Lab machine and think you've cleaned the place out, but I guarantee you didn't. I guarantee you somebody goes back with another machine, walks a different direction on a different day when the moisture content is different in the ground. Something is different, and they're still pulling coins and relics out of that same property. We just had that situation a couple days ago. Yeah, sure, you can detect my yard. It's been detected before. You're not going to find anything. Sorry. Well, thanks for the 2 coppers I just pulled out of your yard, buddy. So, look, you can't. There's no such thing as a hunted out site. You know, you're not going to find everything. There's no way. You're going to go back with another machine. New technology is going to come out. It's getting better. It's getting better and better.
Yeah, it was funny you say that because as you're talking about that, I'm thinking, well, that's kind of like what we do too. We don't necessarily throw our black sands away for a while because there's always something out there coming out that
as long as there's gold coming out of it, we're not going to throw it.
Right. You know, as long as we got gold, you know, as long as we got gold coming out of it, we're not going to throw it away. That means we hang on to it to another new piece of equipment that's supposed to get the rest of that gold out. We'll try it, you know.
Okay.
But, you know, we all like, I stick to, for the most part, to my basic Garrett pan. You know, it's what I learned on. Although I've been using my Gold Claw a lot more lately, but that's the one I learned on. That's the one I always fall back on. So you know, I guess we all go through that. You know, even as a mechanic, we use our wrenches, the ones that we use. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I've got okay. So I'm most used to the E-Track. I'm comfortable with it.
Right.
I enjoy it. I know it, and it is my extension of my arm. It is my go-to machine most of the time, but not all the time. There are places I prefer using the AT Pro or the AT Max.
Right.
I really like the wireless setup that the AT Max has. I like that you have a wireless pinpointer now that you can play with, and you don't have to move your headphone or it's just everything's getting more advanced, more convenient, more enjoyable. It's but you know what it boils down to for a lot of people is preference.
Right.
Everybody's got a preference, what they're comfortable with, what works for them. Who cares what it is you're swinging? You're going to find stuff.
Right. As long as you're finding stuff and you're happy with what you're doing, who cares?
That's what it's all about.
Who cares if it's a World War
There you go.
Who cares if it's a World War II Army surplus mine detector? If it's finding stuff for you, then go for it, right? You knew I was going to get that in there tonight.
Hey, Drew. Jeff, MacGyver muscle machines. Have you ever detected for gold nuggets like Bill Sutherland does out in Arizona?
No, but I am like really dying and itching to try something like that. I'd really love to go out west and look for gold. That would be a bucket list item for me. I'm so used to this dirty colonial relics and coins, it's stuff, man.
It would be different to go out and find something shiny and new, huh? Even though gold is not new, but it's still shiny.
Yeah.
I just saw a question in here about a detector. Shoot, now I can't find it. Oh, Dustin O'Connor. What is a good entry-level machine for a man on a budget? I haven't owned a detector since my Fisher 1266X died in the early 2000s.
In all honesty, beginning detectors is got to be the Garrett A series machines, and that's not just because of my association with my girlfriend and what she does and her involvement with Garrett, but I really believe that the Ace machines, they're turn on and go. They're very simple. They're lightweight. Again, I've got a 250. I've found so much great stuff with that 250. That 250 has pulled me silver and coppers and relics galore. It's all about what do you want to hunt? Where do you want to hunt? If you want to hunt a high mineralized area, no, that's not the machine you want to use. You need something that's runs on a better frequency or a multi-frequency machine. But the A series, I mean, they're versatile machines just about everywhere. On the dry sand at the beach, the dirt, yards, parks. I mean, you get a good bang for your buck with them.
Well,
that's 2-year warranty.
That's something that I've noticed when you ask someone who's been metal detecting. That's the machine that they usually go to for entry level or inexpensive.
I'm gonna tell you, I mean, just from seeing people in the hobby, the vast majority what you see out in these fields and these woods in these yards are Garrett machines. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. They're good, reliable machines. Yeah, everybody's got their preference, and every machine has its could have a quirk to it. It's like going to Walmart buying a brand new DVD player, go home, plug it in, and it doesn't turn on. Look, it's electronics. It's going to happen. But you know what? The nice thing that they have too is their customer service is probably the best customer service I've ever dealt with. I can't say for other manufacturers because I haven't had to deal with them. But, man, I'll tell you what, they bend over backwards. And folks that I've sent to them for something that they needed warranted or repaired have said the same thing. Now, look, you can't please everybody every time. I'm sure there's instances where they piss somebody off, but hey, that's going to happen. I know I've done it a few times, and sometimes I do it on purpose. But hey, whatever, I don't care. But their customer service is top notch. There is no other better customer service out there that I have dealt with. So let me clarify that. I don't want to knock anybody else, but I haven't had to deal with anybody else. I've heard horror stories about other manufacturers. I personally never had any of those problems. Knock on wood. But for budget, the Ace series machines, either the 300 or the 400, it all depends on what you want to spend. And now the nice thing is you can go to www.relicrecoverist.com and you can order a Garrett machine. And if you put in the code subscriber, you'll get free shipping and 10% off.
Nice.
It's at relicrecoverist.com, right? Because I put up her URL in the chat room. You know, and I think I have 3 detectors now. A Garrett, an old Garrett. What is that thing? Patrick, I forget what it is. Grandmaster Hunter X11 12 or something. It's old. And then my Ace 250, which has been a good machine, and then no, I have 4 detectors now. I just picked up a Fisher Goldbug Pro. So I really like the Garrett, though, my Ace 250, but that Max, I need something that's totally waterproof. Is the Max totally waterproof like the AT Pro?
Yes, the Max is totally waterproof. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being informed that I misspoke. That the code is good for free shipping. We haven't discussed any of the. We're still working out the bugs on everything.
No discount, just the free shipping. Get the 10% discount.
Let's see. So anyway, the AT Max. Yes, it is waterproof. Now the only issue you're going to.
Sorry, Drew. Now, Jocelyn, if they buy it tonight only, and put in like Flash, do they get a 5% or a 10% discount? Just kidding. Not really. Kind of, sort of.
She might be able to adjust the website.
We were kidding about that.
I don't know. I don't know how that. See, she handles all the technical stuff because I'm technically retarded, and I can't do any computer stuff, any website stuff. That just I can't get my brain around it, so I don't mess with any of that stuff.
That's what she does, right? She's like graphic.
She is so tech savvy. It's ridiculous. I mean, she watches statistics and just all kinds of stuff. Just she analyzes everything. I don't know how she keeps all that information in that brain of hers, man. It's a lot of information, and I think a lot of folks get upset because they don't always get a quick response or get a response whenever we get an email or a message. There's so much going on. I mean, I work a full-time job normally. She's working a job. I mean, we've got the 2 kids we're wrestling with, so I mean, we try to keep up on as many messages as we can, but. I'm being more diligent about my email now. Now that we started selling machines, I have to keep track of all that stuff. So
now you're gonna have to work.
Added to the plate.
Yeah.
But yeah. But back to the AT Max though, Ed. It is wireless, but here's the only issue you're going to run into. If you go to submerge the machine, once the control box is submerged, you need to have the Garrett waterproof headphones because the wireless will not transmit from underwater.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like, I believe on the Deus machines, they have like a little antenna that goes to the coil, and that antenna has to be above the water because the coil is wireless. So it has to be able to get that signal, and it can't transmit those signals through the water.
Oh, okay.
So if you plan on submerging the machine and getting in the water, then you're going to need the wireless headphones, which do not come with the machine. Now I'll tell you what, though, they are running a really killer special right now on the AT Max and the Ace 400. The Ace 400, they're giving you the orange pinpointer, the regular orange pinpointer Garrett Carrot with that one for the same price as the Ace 400. That is a Garrett package. So you're getting a $125 pinpointer for free.
Cool.
And then if you order the AT Max, you get the wireless Garrett Carrot with that one, which is I think $160. So that's free, and that's if you're going to buy a new machine, it's a good time to do it when something like that's on sale, so you don't have to pay the extra money for the accessories.
Right. Well, when I got my 350, part of that package was the Garrett Carrot, so that was cool. And I got a pretty good deal on that a while back.
Now I saw another question up here. Where'd it go?
How do you compare the Max?
That's the one I'm looking for. By Mississippi Treasure Hunter.
Right.
How do I what?
How do you compare the Max to the Pro? Drew.
I have more time on the Pro than I do on the Max. They say the all-metal mode is a true all-metal mode on the Max, and it will give you additional depth. I have not done a side-by-side comparison on the two machines. I do notice I get great depth on the AT Pro, but there are folks that are saying they're getting deeper with the AT Max, which is fine. I mean, if I'm in somebody's front yard, I'm not going 12 or 18 inches in their front yard. I'm sorry, I'm not digging a huge crater of a hole.
Right.
I'm sticking with 6 to 8, max 10 inches. I'm not going crazy in a manicured yard. I mean, yeah, you can cut a nice plug. You can use a towel, put all the dirt. That's great. I don't want to freak people out with foot deep holes in their yard.
No. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no.
Start yelling kaboom.
Hey, no lie. I've had that happen. I was in Idaho with my buddy Frank from Detect America, and we drove out to see Brandon, Dr. Tones. And we were on a permission, and the farmer was letting us look for the outhouses. Well, we located where they would have been, but there was like a bunch of bushes in the way. And the farmer's like, "Hang on, I'll be right back." He disappears. He walks off into the barn, and all you hear is his motor start up. And here he comes with a backhoe, and he starts driving over, and he's ripping bushes out with the backhoe. And we're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I've wanted to do this for a while. Let's have some fun." I was like, "Oh my God." So yeah, I've had the backhoe actually happen on a dig site. And there were several of us there to witness that. That was pretty intense.
Oh wow!
Hey, we got another question here for you from Brother Joseph, Green Mountain Gold Trap. He wants to know, do you know anything about the Tri-Viper? He says, I got swindled on it, I think. Won't even pick up a 1 gram nugget on the surface.
I've never even heard of that.
I wonder where that's from.
Well, first off, I would look at, how long have you had it? I mean, have you been sitting on it for a year now and it's too late to do anything about it? Or do you have any recourse to return it from where you bought it? If you're doing an air test and you're not picking anything up with, just doing an air test, there's something wrong with the machine or no.
Yeah.
I hope that helps you, Brother Joe.
But you never even heard of it, huh?
I'm really sorry to hear. Honestly, I've never heard of that brand, so I can't speak about the brand itself. And I've been in the hobby, 14 years. I don't know. Is it? I don't even know what style machine is it. Digitized? Is it just an old needle going across the screen? I've never seen one.
Now we have another one from Patrick O'Masters. Will the wireless Garrett pointer pair up with the MindLab Knox?
That is false. No, there was a rumor going around that it would, but no, it will not. The Z-Link wireless technology is a patent Garrett technology, so it is not supposed to interact with other manufacturers.
That's a strange looking machine.
And it's interesting too, because the pinpointer will pair with the headphones. So even if your machine is not on, but your headphones are on, and you pair your pinpointer to the headphones, you don't even need to use your detector with the wireless headphones. If you just want to, say you're swimming in a creek, you just stay close to the surface. You can't really submerge it too much, but you can get the pinpointer wet, and you can work the edge of the water line where you're not submerged. And you don't even need a big detector if it's a small area. You want to get into between some rocks. It's a great little bonus to have that right into your headphones, and nobody can hear what you're hearing. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. What else you got for me?
Let me see. What kind of coil are you using with the AT Max or AT Pro by Daniel Willie?
Okay, so I like a couple of the coils. I really like the Garrett 5x8. That's an excellent coil. It's got excellent separation. You don't really lose a whole lot of depth. It is a smaller coil, and a lot of folks will say, "Yeah, you lose depth with it," but you really don't lose that much. But again, it does have excellent target separation. I also like an aftermarket company named Mars. I've been using their 10x13 elliptical double D coil. And for a bigger coil, great target separation. Absolutely phenomenal. We've also got a 13-inch round double D and a 15-inch round double D. And for big coils, you would think that you would just get all garbled up with signals. Now, these coils have really nice separation. They're very lightweight. They're made in the Ukraine. That's where they come from. But I'll be honest with you, man, shipping was fast. Email was sent off back and forth, and within, I think it was like a week or two, the coils showed up. I mean, it was lickety split quick, and they're not uber expensive, and they make them for all the different brands too. So that you have to check their website and just look and see what machines they do make coils for. I know like the newer MindLab stuff has chips in it. So the only company that's authorized to manufacture coils for the newer MindLab stuff is, it was just on the tip of my tongue. I have a big watt coil for my E-Track. Quiltech out of Australia. They're the only ones that are allowed to make the MindLab coils for the newer stuff. So
I found
all kinds of stuff out there, but again, the factory coils that come with the machines are good, just as good as well. But the 5x8 is probably one of my favorites, and that 10x13 from Mars is one of my second favorite.
Cool. Thank you. I hope that helped, Daniel. Mississippi Treasure Hunter. Doesn't the Max have a backlight, and have you used it? If so, how did it perform?
Yes, the AT Pro does not have a backlight. The AT Max does. The AT Gold does not have it either. The backlight is nice and bright on it. Absolutely. That is a nice feature to have. It's kind of spoiling to have it. It's a lot easier to hunt at night. I mean, and look, not everybody hunts at night, but you know what? When I go out with a lot of my friends, we hit the beach at night. And if the moon's not out, it's pretty dark out on the beach. and I want to be able to see what's going on around me. So I got my headlamp on, but having that backlight on the machine, that's awesome. I love it.
So I looked up the Trident. It's made by Calico.
Okay.
There you go. Now you know.
Well, if he's had it a very short period of time and there's any kind of recourse or warranty, I would reach out to Calico. That's a pretty big company, so
right.
I mean, I would assume that they would hop on taking care of that if it's within reason, within warranty. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they got a 30-day money back guarantee.
Well, hopefully it's.
But we don't know how long Joseph's had it.
30 days.
30-day money back guarantee.
Wow.
That ain't too long.
No, that ain't long at all.
He's had it for more than 5 years now, so I think that's out the window.
Yeah, I would have to say so.
Doesn't mean they wouldn't look at it or at least check it out for them.
Doesn't hurt to pick up the phone and call.
Right.
I mean, that's what businesses are built on, customer service. And
that's right.
If the company has good customer service, they'll back their product. You know, hey, look,
Brother Joseph, just tell them who you are and who you know, and they'll take care of it. Tell them you know Drew and Ed and Jess and Dano.
That might get them hung up on at least the Ed, Jess, and Dano.
Yeah, so here comes the question for you. What collections does Drew have? You have collections, Drew?
Oh, there's lots of collections, man.
Yeah.
Well, you guys got a sneak peek earlier while we were doing that little goofing around period.
Is that a lot of your dad's collection?
Down here is a mixture. Down here is a mixture of stuff. This is kind of like the family man cave that my mom never comes down into except to do laundry in the room. The other room's filled with train platforms and toy trains and stuff like that.
I see.
Back all here, but yeah, there's cases down here that are full of relics and bottles, and I'm assuming you guys would want me to flip my camera around and maybe show you guys.
Sure, give us a little tour. Do I see some tin toys back there too?
That's a good possibility. My dad does like tin toys. It's usually what he gets for Christmas every year. Gets a couple of those.
Cool.
He gets some die-cast cars, whatever. He likes that stuff. Let me see if I can figure out how to flip this camera around.
Gotta find a turn around button.
How's that coming through?
There you go.
Yeah, there's some bottles and whatnot. Got another little bottle display over here.
So it's a pretty eclectic collection you got there. A little this, a little that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just pottery and china, just some of the stuff you really like to save. That's hey, anybody want some syringes? There's some glass.
Oh man, some old glass syringes.
The old glass syringes, yeah.
Those are all like 1800s.
That's like Coke Any Day would use.
Here you go. Oh, you want to talk about cooking? Here you go. We'll use this. Let me see. Let me try to do this without knocking over this flower pot here. How about an egg that came out of an outhouse that was all 1820s and 1830s?
Oh,
and
my.
It's still intact.
Wow.
Now, think about that. 1820s to 1830s was the stuff that was coming out of that outhouse, and this eggshell is still intact. There is an impact spot on it right here, which is probably where all the goo leaked out of it. But
probably where it landed on the poo.
And that's a chunk of dried poo right there. But hey, that's pretty cool. The mason's level. This is the base of it, and then this is the glass tube with the water in the bubble from laying the bricks for an outhouse. He probably dropped.
Oh yeah.
Geez, man, what to look at? There's just like all kinds of stuff. There's a giant USA hospital department for you Civil War guys. Got some other stuff in here.
Definitely a lot of pottery, huh?
Yeah, we try to save as much as we can. Here's a colonial clay coin bank.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's actually a colonial bank.
So you say it's a colonial bank. Did you research it? Or?
You research the pottery, the styles, the colors. I believe that color pottery comes out of Wilmington, Delaware. The pottery that was used here is a different color, so you can kind of judge based on just doing the research.
Right.
There's a little doll booty for you.
Some doll booty.
A little doll booty. Everybody likes that.
Okay.
All kinds of like minerals, and we get into fossils, and full of fossils and stuff there.
Cameron's wondering, how long did that collection take to build? I would say over your dad's lifetime and yours.
Actually, I don't think he was doing a whole lot of digging, prior to getting me and my brother out doing it. It's taken a lot of years, but
was that mostly auctions and flea markets and garage sales and stuff like that?
Most of, I'd say 90% of what you just saw in those cases there is Doug's stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, all the artifacts and relics, and that's Doug's stuff. And that's just down here. I mean, that's not even up in my bedroom, up in my son's room, up in the living room on the.
You'll go for a walk after our commercial.
Bottles and crocks and stoneware and you name it, it's upstairs still too. So
that's not a collection; it's a museum. I agree.
Yeah, it's funny because my uncle he would always call it the Ripley Museum since we're all
and really great display. The way you got them displayed there. But where's the toy? I want to see those 10 toys behind you. I did mention it earlier. You just went right on by them. What's up on that wall there? I see the cars and toys up there.
These are all die cast. I don't. He doesn't have his tickets over here.
Those are die cast.
I don't know if I can get any. I think the fluorescent light took a crap in the train room, so I don't think we're gonna get any light in here. But let's see if I can get one to work. I'll flip this around, and you guys can get a quick peek at the giant, massive train layout.
Wow.
Train down on the shelf.
Oh, cool.
It's on the wall there. There's So
yeah.
This is what
do you have tracks set up somewhere too?
But there is. Hey man, here you go. He's got a bunch of his 10 toys in this case.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah.
So there's the 10 toys. But yeah, we like to collect a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I prefer to play in the dirt though. I like to find.
My dad was a big collector. He always told me collect what you like.
Right.
Here's a cool one. You guys will get a kick out of this. This is an old bullwhip that came out of an outhouse.
A bullwhip that came out of a privy?
That's a leather whip handle.
I did see some privy diggers pull a Colt 45, I believe, a Peacemaker, out of a hole in Mount Vernon, Washington, when I was still living back in Washington. It was pretty cool.
Hang on, I'm gonna one up you on that. I gotta find that little flintlock pistol I got here somewhere.
Dustin O'Connor wants to know if you guys ever buy coins.
That's what I do for a living.
Well, he owns a coin store.
Oh, okay.
I manage a shop in Hamilton, New Jersey. It's called Colonial Valley Coins, and then I do my own coins as well.
So was I just tricked into
time numismatics, which is mine? But yes, I do buy coins. I've been collecting coins since I was probably about 12, maybe 13. One of my neighbors handed me a big canvas bag of wheat pennies and said, "Here you go, kid, have fun." And that was the end of it. Coin Club used to meet. The local coin club used to meet at the church on my corner. So even when I was like 12 and 13 years old, I could walk up there on a Tuesday night, and I knew all these old guys, and my parents knew all these old guys. And even the one dealer that would go to the club meeting, my dad used to deal with him. He dealt with him back in the day when he had his original shop.
Yeah.
So
do you know this Dustin O'Connor?
Possibly.
No.
I don't want to say yes.
Well, he's the one that asked that question. He says, I buy a lot of coins also.
You guys travel more to hunt once you can.
Well, look, coin collecting is a great hobby, man. I mean, my one recommendation to everybody is, instead of buying 20 crappy Morgan silver dollars for their melt value, buy the best one you can afford in the highest grade you can afford at the time. Buy a key date coin. That's where your investment's going to be. Those junky coins, the average circulated junk, don't waste your money on it. Buy something that's going to retain its value. Do a little research, ask some questions, find yourself a reputable coin dealer, look at reviews, look at, there's a lot of forums out there for collectors and buyers and dealers. Just be informed. And you can build an amazing collection that's going to pay off down the road, because, I mean, geez, God forbid, knock on wood, something happens, you got a bill to pay. Well, hey, look, it's all replaceable, and you can sell a piece off, pay that bill, and hey, that coin collection just saved your butt,
Right.
Whereas your average like circulated Morgan dollars that you buy for 15, 16 bucks a piece, that's all they're ever going to be, and they're just going to ride on the market, whatever the silver price is, and they're going to bounce up and down a little bit. But those key date coins, those high grade coins, certified coins, the nice stuff, the good stuff, that's where you're gonna wind up retaining your investment.
Dustin O'Connor has another question, but let me get to that after I take a quick break from one of our sponsors. I gotta scroll that up so I don't lose it. All right, we'll be right back after a word from one of our sponsors. Hi, we're back with Drew Waholek.
It's getting worse. Just say Drew and be done with it. You're just
sorry, buddy.
I
said it fine when we were off air. Gee whiz. Bang. Oh my goodness. Okay, where'd that question go? Drew, any advice for eBay coin buyers? I buy about uncirculated Morgans and gold eagles, by Dustin O'Connor.
eBay's a funny marketplace, man. You really got to be careful. Again, it's research. It's being informed. You got to know what the current market price is for gold. If you're buying bullion on eBay, remember that seller's got at least, usually if it's a low end dealer, I mean they're going to have a 15% fees that they're losing, so they're going to jack their prices up a little bit. So you just got to be informed. I have found that eBay has become, it seems more of a wholesale place than anything, because it's just some things just go way cheaper than they should. Some things go way cheaper than what a professional dealer would wholesale it for. There's bargains to be had, that I can guarantee. There's things that I've bought on eBay and taken elsewhere and wholesaled it and made money on it. So it's research. It's knowing what you're buying. If you don't know what you're buying, don't buy it, man.
Yeah.
If you're unsure in any way, shape, or form, make sure they have some sort of return policy. Any good dealer is going to have a good return policy. If you're not satisfied, or if you get it and you send it in for submission and it comes back no good.
And be wary of Chinese coin sellers.
Man, I'll tell you what, that stuff is coming in droves. Let's talk about websites like Alibaba, Top Hatter, Wish. They are the worst offenders I have ever seen in my entire life. The garbage that they're allowing into this country. And what I'm seeing is when these coins come in, number one, the Hobby Protection Act of 1979, 79 or 69, it requires that anything that is a facsimile is marked as such, whether it be marked copy, whether it be marked facsimile. It has to be marked as such. It cannot be sold in the United States or brought into the United States unless it is that. Now, things are coming into the country, and I've seen the packages. They're sending it in as keychains or medallions or whatever, but it is counterfeit silver eagles, silver dollars, key date coins. And not only are they better, not only are they getting better at the engraving that they're doing on them, but they're getting better at the fact that they're making them non-magnetic. They're coming in base metals that are non-magnetic. Usually the weight's way off. Usually you can tell just by the weight, the feel, the color of it. Just if you know what you're looking at, you can pick them out right away. But there are ones that are getting by that are super phenomenal. And it's.
I saw something on Facebook earlier today about telling the difference between a fake silver dollar and a.
I'm going to tell you one of the easiest tests in the world. One of the easiest tests in the world. Any human being can do it, and it will work for everybody. Take a silver dollar that you know for fact is a silver dollar, that you have you've had it forever, whatever, you may have dropped it on the ground, and you can hear a specific distinct sound. You will hold that on the tip of your finger. You will balance it on the tip of your finger, and you will lightly tap the rim with a pen or a pencil. It will create and resonate a high-pitched sound, and it will continue to resonate and make that high-pitched sound. Recently, we've been getting here on the East Coast, I've been seeing a lot of these fake foreign coins show up on the beaches. Somebody somewhere, for some reason, thinks it's either funny, thinks they're doing the world a favor. I don't know what it is, but these phony Russian and Spanish 8 real coins popping up on the beach. They're not magnetic, but they're not real. They're not marked copy. They're not marked facsimile. They look okay. But if you balance the 8 real on the finger and you hit it with a pen or a pencil, you don't get that high-pitched resonating sound. You get a low hum with a thud to it almost. You can train your ear to hear the sound of silver resting on the tip of your finger and hitting it with a pen or a pencil very lightly on the rim, and it will have a very distinct, high-pitched, long resonating sound. And that is the simplest way to tell if your coin is made out of silver. Now, here's a kicker. Back in the day, they would make gold coins, counterfeit gold coins, out of real gold. The price of the precious metal was worth less than what the face value of the coin was worth. So then they would just melt a bunch of gold and make gold coins, but they're counterfeit. Now, counterfeit coins do have a value. There are collectors for those. There are clubs of collectors for those. There's a club just for counterfeit bust half dollars. There's collectors for everything. And in some cases, counterfeit coins are unique. Each one is pretty much unique. I think one of my favorites, I've dug a couple counterfeit coins. One was a counterfeit seeded half dollar that was some sort of pot metal with 2 holes in it. It was absolutely ugly looking. And when you drop it on the table, all you hear is thud. You know, there's no ping from the silver. It's just dead. It looks like it's dark gray. It's washed out. Oh, it's just awful looking. And you can tell it's counterfeit. The other one was it's broken in half. 1688 Dutch lion dollar, which is equivalent to an 8 real or a silver dollar sized coin. Those were standard prior to the Spanish dollars that were used in trade, and this one was made out of bronze with a silver wash on it, but I've only got half of it. Somebody broke it in half and probably realized it was counterfeit and threw the half that was no good away, or threw both halves, but I found half of it. Fortunately, it had the date on it, so that was awesome.
Okay.
So you gotta watch for counterfeits. You just, again, be informed, know what you're looking at.
So let me ask you this: clean or uncleaned?
Don't ever clean a coin.
Okay.
Now listen. This has been an argument with the digging community for a long time.
Well, that's why I asked it, because I always hear that.
Okay.
Don't do it this way. Don't do it that way. Do it this way. Don't do it at all. Leave it alone. Blah, 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 blah.
Don't know what we're doing, don't do it. Okay? If you have no idea in the world what you're doing, there are a lot of processes out there for dug coins that will help them. Electrolysis is like the biggest one out there right now. It'll stabilize the corroding metal. It'll take the corrosion off the surface. It is a tried and true, proven, tested theory and process. And yes, electrolysis does work. However, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it on something awesome. Take a bunch of wheat pennies, try it out on some wheat pennies, some crappy looking Indian heads. There is one coin that you will never, ever, ever, ever get to look brand new again, and that is a nickel. Nickels come out of the ground brown. You can tumble them, you can oil them, you can cook them, you can whatever you want to say. I don't care who you are. There is no such thing as a magical shiny new buffalo nickel coming out of the ground. Okay, I'm calling out all those people that have posted shiny brand new buffalo nickels. You're liars. It doesn't work that way. They're brown, they're nasty, they're ugly, and there's nothing you can do to fix them. It's just the alloy that was used for the coin. It is what it is. Copper's scary, man. I don't like messing with copper too much. I'll soak it in olive oil. Because a lot of times when you remove that crust that's on there, that crust is actually holding the detail that you're going to wind up losing. So you just the coppers are a case-by-case basis. There's people that tumble their coppers with walnut shells. There's people that electrolyze their copper. Problem with that is when you cook it too long, it gets real bright and shiny. Then you got to do something called playing with it, and you got to switch the anode and the cathode, put a piece of silver in there, and then you got to darken the copper back. There's processes. You got to learn. There are videos out there. Frank from Detect America's put out a good video on electrolysis. There's veterans in the hobby that use electrolysis. It's a great process, but you really got to learn what you're doing, because if you're doing bigger iron items like the Civil War guys do, you're going to wind up using car battery chargers and water and shocking yourself and electricity. Yeah, you really just do the research. Research. I was laughing. There was some cat that was talking about using mayonnaise to clean coins. I was okay. I've heard of lemon juice on buttons. That's great because that brings the gold gilt out. But mayonnaise on coins.
I've heard ketchup.
Well, that's acidic. I mean,
right.
That's That's going to brighten the coin up, and that's going to it's going to turn your coin pink is what it's going to do. There's a product out there you can use on proof coins and high-grade uncirculated coins called Easyest. But if you dip a copper coin in there, like say you want to get a fingerprint off of a proof coin, this stuff will actually take the fingerprints off, which is really nice. But the copper coins, it turns them pink. You can't dip a copper coin in the stuff. So you gotta know what you're doing, what you're playing with, and just be cautious. But general rule of thumb, any coin collector is going to tell you don't clean a coin. My boss always tells the story of this lady that had all these beautiful copper coins she brought into the coin show, and the dealer that he was working with, I think he offered her close to $75,000 for the collection. It was a spectacular, amazing collection of coppers. She turned down the $75,000. She went home and she brought the coins back the next day. So how much you give me now? They're all shiny and new. So I'll give you $1,000.
Face value.
Shiny blank metals. That's pretty cool. Here's $1,000. That's what I'm gonna give you now.
Oh,
don't clean your coins if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Silver
Luke wants to know what your oldest coin is.
If you're going to electrolyze anything, silver is really easy. It cooks the quickest. I've had some ugly looking mercury dimes. I put it in 3 seconds and then rinse it under regular water, and boom, all that black stuff is gone. It looks really nice again. It's still got that natural sheen to it, or what do they call that? The luster. It's got some nice luster to it still. Electrolysis is really the way to go. I like doing that with a lot of different things, not just coins, relics too.
All right. So I got another question here for you from Justin O'Connor. He says, Drew, I've taken to buying quarter eagles and I want a half eagle. Any advice for buyers of gold eagles? Also, you are right about nickels. Okay. There you go.
Look, yeah, no, trust me, I've been doing coins since I was a little kid, man. There ain't no making a nickel look brand new again. I don't care. Unless you spray paint it with some silver spray paint or something. Yeah, no, not happening. Quarter eagles, gold eagles, again, it's research. There are a lot of reputable companies out there like Atmex, I think it's J Bullion. And they'll post their prices based on the spot, and you just got to see what they're charging over spot. Check a couple sites out. Check what the guys on eBay have. Go to kitco.com, kitco.com. Get the current most up-to-date spot prices. They'll have a bid and an ask on there. The bid price is what the dealers go by. So just again, it's just know where you're buying it from, know who you're buying it from, and know what you're paying, and know that you're paying a fair price. Shop around a little bit. Don't just jump on the first deal you see. That's usually, if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
All right, now Latina board, Mr. Lodak, he pretty much summed that up, but yes, there's old coins out in circulation to be found. Now, Luke Duke has a question, Drew. What's Drew's oldest coin that he owns?
The oldest coin that I own, or the oldest coin that I've found?
Luke Duke says owns.
Man, I've got a huge collection of ancients. Those go back into the BCs. One of my favorite ones that I have, I bought a very large collection of grouping of ancient coins at Rago Auction House I think it was last January. There's a Pontius Pilate coin in there. And for those of you who don't know who Pontius Pilate is, Pontius Pilate was the prefect that turned Jesus over to the Jews to be crucified. So not only is it like a really old coin, but it's historical. It's got some history to it. It's got some biblical history to it. It's that's pretty cool. But
is that a coin you found, or is that one?
No. That was in a grouping that I bought from auction. You don't see too many.
I was gonna say that's
now that's the thing. Like, okay, I can see somebody finding an ancient coin here in the U.S., but more than likely it was dropped by somebody more recent, maybe within the last couple 100 years, that had it and lost it. But I don't see ancient Greek and Roman coins showing up here from people that were trading and spending them. Now, I've been on sites where it's like, hey, what is this doing here? This doesn't belong here. I got a public school right down the street from me. It was built in 1948. The 1940 aerial photograph shows baseball diamonds, so I know there was kids playing there. That's cool. The houses that run along the one side are all built in the 1920s. They had, at the time when the houses were built, really short wrought iron fences. People were coming down the back side of their houses to go into this area where the baseball diamonds were. Buffalo nickels, silver coins, wheat pennies. It's been a amazing little spot to hunt. But I pulled an 1850 Belgian coin out of there as well. So, I mean, there was nothing in Northeast Philly in my area that would have warranted an 1850 Belgian coin being on this built-up mound, no less. I mean, it was dirt brought in, so it's not natural dirt there. So it could have come from somewhere else. It could have been a kid at the school had it and lost it. It could have been somebody that lived in one of those 1920s houses, was sledding on that back hill, had it in their pocket and lost it. But it's like, how did that get there? Had a privy dig in Manhattan. Same situation. Dumped the bucket of dirt on the pile, and I see this little blue thing roll down the hill, and pick it up. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's a little statue. I stick it in the bucket for the bucket of fines. And generally, at the end of the dig, everybody gets together. We flip coins, draw cards, whatever, to see who goes first. And we pick through the bottles and the relics and whatnot. And I picked a little statue. It's a little Egyptian guy. It's like, oh, this is cool. This is a little Egyptian man. I like this. I really like this. This is cool. It's going to my collection. So that was my first pick. And I had a friend of mine look at it that deals in older stuff. I said, just for laughs and giggles, let's see if this thing might actually have some age to it. And sure enough, it's a 3,000-year-old Egyptian Shabti statue, late dynastic.
Wow.
It was in a tomb in Egypt in a pyramid somewhere at some point in time. And I have the top half to it, which is kind of cool.
And that was found in a privy hole in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was the Chelsea section actually, in Manhattan. Here's the theory that I had on it. Most of the stuff that was coming out of the pit was 1840s to 1860s context, and it was posh to collect that stuff. It was starting to come over to the States. There were no antiquities laws protecting it.
Sure, that's during the Victorian era.
Yes, those tombs were getting raided and raped and pillaged. And I'm thinking when it came here, it was whole. And I'm thinking that it was probably on a shelf. It was probably a decoration, maybe on the fireplace mantle, fell off, broke, and it went out with the rest of the garbage into the outhouse because that's where the garbage went, was to the outhouse.
Right.
They didn't have management pick up. And in a place like Manhattan, you don't have a nice little town dump you can go to out in the woods with a little creek and whatever and just dump it off the side. Nope, it went into your outhouse. And then your honey dippers would come in and clean out your outhouse, and they would clean all your trash out for you too at the same time. And then they would take it out somewhere and they would dump it somewhere else. So that's my theory on it, is that it was a decoration. It was brought over and it broke and got thrown out with the garbage.
That actually makes sense when you think about during that time, like you said, they were the crypts and everything, the tombs were being raided. Everybody started building things and buying those Egyptian artifacts, and then even the architecture started people started designing things that look that way too. So, so yeah, that theory seems to be would seem.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's just a hypothesis. That's the evidence that's laid out in front of me. So that's the most logical explanation I can put on it. Other than that, what is a 3,000-year-old Egyptian statue doing in an outhouse in Manhattan? I have no idea.
Taking a shit. I mean,
I got it. I love it. I think
sorry.
I had it up at the Treasure Show in New England. I had it out of the box. I'm letting people fondle it and handle it, and I'm like, here, I don't care. It's cool. Check it out. You want people to see stuff like that. You want people to be able to touch and things like that. That's part of the reason we do what we do is the passion behind the history and the items.
Oh yeah. What good is it being hidden away somewhere when you can share it with the world?
And I'm going to tell you,
a small portion of the population.
I've got a personal issue with museums in general. I'm going to leave it nameless, but I did some volunteer work in a particular museum here in Philly. I used to work in a prep lab, putting the dinosaur bones back together, cleaning them out, cleaning them gluing, you name it, prepping them, air scribing them. That's what I spent my time doing there.
Oh, cool.
But every once in a while, I would go dumpster diving, because you should see the stuff the museums just throw away.
Oh man,
it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I was opening up field jackets from the 1920s and 30s that actually belonged to a college out in Utah that nobody had a clue what was in them. Turned out it was all like Diplodocus bones, long neck, long tail sauropod bones. Apparently they had put in like a football field at some point, and they decided to put it in right over top of a giant dinosaur fossil deathbed. So they casted all the fossils that they could. They sent them off to different museums for preparation. And well, lo and behold, they sat in the basement on the wait list and never made it. So I think it was like, man, had to be in the early 2000s. I was down there, and we were opening up these field jackets from the 20s and playing with dinosaur bones. But I mean, like, just all the crap that I pulled out of the dumpster. It's ridiculous.
Man.
They get donations. I mean, now don't get me wrong. Like, the collection is amazing. They've got in the back room there. They've got an extensive, amazing collection. Collections manager is a good friend of mine, and I've had the pleasure of being able to go back and actually touch and hold and feel in my bare hands some of the fossils that Lewis and Clark brought back for Thomas Jefferson. So, I mean, it's just like, man, that's pretty amazing to touch something like that.
I didn't even know they brought those back.
Thomas Jefferson was into dinosaurs and fossils, and oh my God, it was like he became addicted to that stuff for quite a while.
Really?
Oh yeah, big into that stuff. Any kind of specimens of any kind of nature, biological, all kinds of stuff.
Wow, interesting. Did they have any of the? You said something about Lewis and Clark too, didn't you?
That's what he asked. That's what
I thought he said Jefferson. Oh well, he was the president at the time. So.
Well, Jefferson was sending Lewis and Clark out on expeditions to find stuff.
Right. Right.
I need Jocelyn's two kids who are sitting up and watching right now to take their expedition to bed, because it's like 9:30 at night. You should be up.
Yeah, Ashton
and Juliet, you need to go to bed right now. It's 30 hour past your bedtime. Listen to your mother and do what you're told.
Drew said so. Now, Cameron Hill asked a question a while back. Got any pointers for mint error coins?
I love mint errors. I do. That is like one of my absolute special favorite areas that I personally collect. There are two major dealers that I like to look at their stuff. Fred Weinberg and Guy's last name is Sullivan. Sullivan, I believe, is out of Virginia, and Weinberg, I believe, he's in California. But there's some amazing stuff out there. Cherry Picker's Guide. Get yourself a Cherry Picker's Guide. There's a volume 1 and a volume 2. Volume 1 covers, I believe, half cents through nickels. And then your volume 2 covers half dimes all the way up and into gold. But then there's also specialty books if there's if you like penny RPMs, repunched mint marks. There's lots of specialty books out there as well. There is a national club for error collectors. And there's all kinds of stuff out there for that. Shoot me a message on Facebook. I'll point you in the direction of some places to go looking. I don't see as many in change as anymore. I mean, the modern minting process, it does get out. Don't get me wrong. It does get out, but not as frequent as it used to. I mean, if you look at like the late 1950s Denver wheat pennies, like I'd say 56, 57, 58, especially 56 and 57, their quality control was disgusting. Cracked dies, chipped dies, filled dies, repunched mint marks, you name it. 56 and 57 Denver pennies, you can find all kinds of stuff on those.
And because of that, they're probably not worth much, are they?
No, generally not. No.
Yeah, because it was a common thing to have errors from that time.
Here's one of the things you got to remember too. The higher the denomination, generally, the more expensive it gets. There are less of the higher denomination errors seen than, say, pennies. Pennies, they're pumping them out by the multi-millions. Right. They're going to get off-center strikes. They're going to get grease-filled dies. They're going to get multiple strikes. You're going to find that in the pennies. As you go up denomination-wise, you'll see less and less of it. I had an Eisenhower dollar that was missing the silvery outer clad layer, and I bought that. I bought it as an AU, and I agreed. I thought it was an AU coin. Sent it in, had it certified. It came back mint state 63, and I had paid $100 for that coin. I wound up selling it for $400 or $500. Thinking back on that. So there's money now. The error and variety collectors market is a much smaller niche area. There are not as many guys into it, but a good free website to check out is a website put up by John Wexler, and his website is www.doubledie.com. So doubledie.com, doubledie.com, and I'm pretty sure you can find just about any error and variety that's probably ever been listed, from cent all the way up, and from early coins all the way up to the most modern stuff. He's got an extensive website.
Camera says, "Will do, Drew. Thank you. I work at a gas station and I found more nice old coins in my register than I have metal detecting." But
watch your currency. Watch your bills. Look at the numbers.
He says, but I think I have snagged some mint error paper currency too.
Score. Yes, that's some good stuff right there.
And also, Katrina, well, what was her name?
Spahar?
Yeah, Katrina Spahar came into...
Spehar.
Dropped by to show some love, show some support for you. Okay, I'm sorry I cut you off, Jesse. Judy must be in there watching the show because she was making a bunch of racket behind me. I have a case full of coins right behind me, and she was looking for a counterfeit Chinese coin I have, or it might be Japanese. And
Coils to the Soil wants to know, does a hold coin retain its value? What does it mean?
Generally, no. Generally, no. There are guys that collect specifically hold coins. Again, it's a very, 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 that is a very small niche market. But there are people that prefer them. Damage to a coin is damage to a coin.
Right.
I had a discussion. Now, a lot of people know who Dave Wise is. He's a very close friend of mine. He dug a chain scent, and we discussed for a while back and forth about sending it in for certification. It's not a cheap coin. It's an expensive coin. And I said to him, I said, if you send it into one of the bigger companies, they're probably going to turn their nose up because it's a dug coin. They're not going to want to stick it in their holder. Why don't you try number 3 right off the bat, as far as like ranking goes? Go to ANAX, send it in, contact them ahead of time if you've got questions. They're super nice people. It's a great company. They got a bad rep at one point from some jackwagon doing something stupid 20 years ago, I guess. I don't even know. It's a great company. I love dealing with them. I like dealing with them over the 2 major certification companies. They have a phenomenal error and variety attribution service. But we talked about submitting it, and I told him, I said, if it comes back in a holder, it's going to come back with environmental damage. I mean, it is what it is. If you're looking for a number grade, you're not going to get a number grade. You're not going to get an XF45. You're going to get XF details, environmental damage. So at that point, you have to decide, is it cost effective for me to send a coin in to have it certified? My general rule of thumb is if the coin is worth A, $200 or more, or B, is a key date coin that needs to be authenticated and verified that it is legit, like a 1916 D Mercury dime or 09 SVDB wheat penny. I really like those certification services for that, because it does have a guarantee behind it, because if they screw up, guess who gets to buy it? They do, not you or your customer. So, I mean, there can be value in dug coins, but man, it's a battle back and forth between collectors and diggers all the time, and I get to see both sides of it, and I just think, I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny, like, just to sit back and watch, because to me, like, my dug coins, I dig a large cent or something, I'm rubbing it on my pants. I don't care, it's my coin. I'm never selling it. I don't care what it is. I want to know what it is. But
yeah, I was going to ask you about that earlier when we talked about cleaning, because I've noticed that some people do that. They rub it just to look for the date or to see what it is. Then you see other people that say, "Don't do that. Don't do that." Well, okay.
Personal preference, man. It's all about personal preference. If it's your coin, if you found it,
right.
Who cares what you do to it? Do whatever you want to it. It's your coin.
Swallow it if you want, right?
Who cares? It's yours. You found it. Who's anybody else to tell you what to do with it? Now, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to sell that coin if it's worth a lot of money? Then you need to know what the proper handling of that coin would be. Usually, like, right off the bat, no, I'm not just gouging stuff on my pants right off the bat. If I dig a nice looking silver coin, I try to get some of the dirt off. Sandy soil, fine gritty soil, it's going to leave surface hairline scratches on it.
Right.
You're not going to see them right off the bat, but they're going to be there. And these grading companies, you send that coin in, if it's like a keep, say you dig a half Disney, 1792 half Disney, and you dug it and you rubbed it on your pants, they're going to send that coin back to you, and that holder is going to be marked damaged surface hairlines. So you do need to be a little versed in proper care of the coin if you're interested in selling your stuff. If you're not interested in selling your stuff, you do whatever you want to your coins,
Right.
relics, whatever.
And the reality of that is too, if you ever want to sell it, you can find somebody to buy it.
Absolutely. Hey, look, I had I bought a barber quarter in the shop a couple years ago from a local digger. He sent it in, had it certified. It came back with a straight grade, no details, no damage, no nothing. It was a semi-key barber quarter, I believe it was, and I paid him $1,700 or $1,800 for that coin, and then also had it sold within 20 minutes. One phone call. I mean, you get stuff like that. It happens. It does happen. Guys do find this stuff, and they do score. Dr. Tones, Brandon Neese, he dug the key date of the 1900s. 01S barber quarter. Oh my God, that's like, he got like what, $6,000 for that coin? I mean,
nice,
amazing, stunning.
Yeah.
There's good stuff out there to be found. There's, but what do you want to do with it? Do you want to enjoy it? Do you want to be a steward of the items and take them out and educate people? Or do you want to be a pirate and sell it all and just get the money?
There's more than money.
Well, you can always do a little of both, right?
Yeah. Me, I'm just a hoarder. That's all.
So I got another question for you.
Judy calls me that.
I got another question for you. Dustin O'Connor.
Man, Dustin, I'm going to have to start charging you, buddy.
Me for the questions? I thought you wanted me to ask. Oh, Dustin O'Connor.
Yeah.
Dustin O'Connor. Drew, will you and Jocelyn ever visit the golf course and hunt? We have some interesting sites and museums. This was British West Florida during the Revolutionary War. At 1:21, no, at 12, at 12, I gotta learn how to read. At 12, I found a Spanish cannonball.
Nice.
So he's talking about the west coast of Florida.
I've been to Florida once, and I don't ever think I want to go back. It's just, it's hot, it's muggy, it's humid, and there's things that want to eat me and kill me there.
Well, if it's not hot and humid, it's cold and rainy.
Yeah, I was not an uber fan of Florida, and nobody knows how to drive there either. Oh my God, they're worse than New Yorkers and Chicago people. I mean, and Chicago's disgusting. I hate driving.
To me,
we can't let our Massachusetts friends feel left out. They're not the greatest drivers.
Look, nobody in New England knows how to merge. I think that's my problem with New England, is nobody in New England knows how to merge. When you get on, either get on and get in the lane or get the flip out of my way. Don't sit there and I gotta get in. No, I hate New England.
Okay, another destination question.
Let me tell you how I really feel about New England and their merging. I can't. This is a family-friendly show.
David Lowell. Hey, Drew, coming back to Connecticut anytime soon?
No, screw you and your New England. Definitely. Actually, you know what? Here's what I was thinking of doing, and I don't know how many of my friends are going to be available to hang out, but I'm gonna try this. I think what I'm gonna do, because Jocelyn's going over to Sicily and the Netherlands with Garrett in October. She's gonna be gone. Nice. She's gonna be gone like the 11th through the 22nd or 23rd, something like that. And I know I'm going to Joe DeMarco's hunt in South Jersey on the 13th, but I'm thinking about skipping town for like a week or a couple days or whatever after that hunt, and just going a digging adventure. So maybe I'll come back up to New England and bring some of my road rage and maybe bring a firework this time. No, just kidding. Maybe I'll do some new. Yeah, Dave, I'll get in touch with you. I constantly enjoy the daily messages that you send me, and the pictures and the videos. Thank you. I need that stuff. Thanks, man. I can't go into detail what he sends me though.
Yeah, I was thinking about asking you what you were gonna, but I
I hope
probably not
it's
a good
nothing
idea.
like our good friend Dennis Dayton sends us. Oh my goodness. Oh.
The stuff that makes you go, where the hell did he find this at?
Makes you wonder
What
how much
are
time
they looking at?
ends. Like, how much time did you spend looking for this stuff?
Yeah,
Not where did you, but how much
you-
time did it take to find this video of XY? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Or how do you even type that in?
I do. I don't have the time to go look for them. I do enjoy watching them. So keep them all over the place.
Right.
The more offensive.
Coils to the soil wants to know: Do you have any gold coins?
Gold coin is a bucket lister to dig. I'm not really. I don't know. Gold coins really don't do a whole lot for me. There are some pieces like the $3 gold piece. I've had a couple of those over time. Bought them, sold them. I look at my collection as like a revolving inventory. Every once in a while, I get a piece in that I like, and I hang on to it for a little while, and then I get bored with it, and I sell it, and I buy something else to put in the revolving inventory / collection. And then there are personal things that I do keep. Gold jewelry, I've dug gold jewelry, no problems there, but no gold coins. That's still my bucket list, one of my bucket listers. But I do handle gold coins on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me, before we continue on, Drew, let me get another break out of the way, and I'll open up the phone lines for just a little bit, if it's all right with you.
It's all right for 30%.
All right, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple of seconds. Well, more than a couple, but we'll be right back.
Adventure. Discovery. Panning is more than a search for beautiful homes. Panning is a journey that can take you to amazing new places all around the world. It is an experience all ages, bringing families closer together and fulfilling a spark of excitement when life has grown too dull. The gold cloth pan makes it easy to take part in the journey than ever before. This expertly designed pan is made for any skillful at any age. All you need is an explorer's heart and the passion for discovery. Begin your family's gold story now. Order your gold claw pan today and see what the adventure takes you.
All right, well, we're back with our good friend Drew, and I'm going to open up the phone lines. I know of one person who's going to call. So there you go, Jonathan Perrette. The lines are open. Call with your questions for Drew. If the numbers are unidentifiable or unknown, I will not answer. And here's our friend Hook. Hook of Hookmeister's Prospecting and Outdoors. You met him at Fossick Days, him and his wife.
Yes.
Hey, Hook.
Hey, how you doing there, Drew?
How's it going, man?
Oh, not too bad. Ed, Jesse, Dano, everybody doing good?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're minus Dano tonight. He's up in the Windy City, the land of terrible roads.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I've been there. I was a truck driver for 13 years. I've been to all 48 states, except, of course, Hawaii can't drive to, or Alaska, but, hey. But anyway, John Shaw, he was down here, and unfortunate for him that his truck's totaled. At least he's at a good place. I guess he's down there at Spike's, Little John's.
Right.
So hopefully he's doing good. he just recently bought one of my dredges off of me also, and but he had a real good time up here. Him and Luke, and they found a spearhead.
Oh, cool!
It was kind of together when Indian spearhead down there on my properties, and but anyway, I wanted to give a shout out. Hopefully he's doing good and he's still listening. But Drew, man, you are very interesting. I never got to talk to you a whole lot over there at Fossick, and but your coin, I did not know you as a coin collector, because man, I've got a lot of coins, and I love coins.
I think that's where my ultimate love falls. Like my number one thing that I like to collect and play with and learn about. I think coins. Yeah, my second favorite thing is buttons. I don't know why. I like buttons and coins. I think it's just round, shiny objects.
Oh yeah, buttons can be actually very fascinating. I've actually found a few rare ones just while I've been dredging, because that, as you know, that's my main thing. I love finding the gold in the creeks and stuff. But I tell you what, since me and my wife have met you, for one thing, I got to thank you guys, because my yard became a landfill for about a week after you guys taught my wife some techniques on metal. So that took a minute to get smoothed out. But
grass seed. Sorry.
I tell you what, but they found some really neat stuff. Some of the first master locks, they found old barn stakes, not nails, but those square barn stakes, the really old ones. And they found a horseshoe. Man, my yard has become like I said, it was a minefield for a short time. But anyway, when it comes to coins, and I've even found coins while I'm out dredging. Have you ever come across anyone that's done that?
You know, I'll tell you what, like, there's a creek bed that I go fossil digging in, and all we do is sift. I mean, we just sit there with sifters through the gravel bars, and we sift for these shark teeth. But every once in a while, the rumor has, and it's not just rumor, I mean, it's proven, but Native American artifacts will pop out of there as well. So, I mean, there's instances of finding stuff while you're doing something else. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I've found old steam tractor, like flywheels and stuff. I found all kinds of crazy stuff on some of these old creeks where there used to be old bridges and stuff. And the one property that I invited you and Jocelyn to come down to, if you guys get a chance, just recently is where the one flywheel from an old steam engine tractor was pulled right out of the creek, prospected. It was down on the bedrock too. I mean, it was deep down in there, and I found it just a few weeks before John Shaw, which is from Texas, as we know, the gold or driveway gold man. He spent 2 or 3 days up here, and then just went down to North Carolina, I think it was. Is that right, Ed?
Yeah, he was in North Carolina, yeah. Right. For the Crony Club outing, yeah.
Yeah. And you want to know the weird thing about that? I called him yesterday morning, and he was eating breakfast. He must have had his wreck right after that, and I haven't talked to him since, but at least he's okay. That's a good thing. And but he plans on trying to come up again next year and spending more time. He found some really good gold, by the way, just 10 feet from where you were, Ed. Sorry,
shut up. I'm telling you, you did that on purpose.
Be the first one. No, I did not. Okay, I'm not going to say that word. That river was flooded. I did not pee in the river to make it swell. That's all I got to say. But anyway,
up there up the river, clouding it all up for us. We couldn't see.
Yeah. But back to Drew, if you and Jocelyn get a chance to come out this way next year, really hope you do. I think a couple of these properties that I've got, you would find very interesting. They're all within just 10 to 15 minutes of the main property where I do most of the camping at. So we can do
really
a lot.
Like Piece of Paradise.
Yeah, well,
that old trading post foundation there, and the bridge and the wagon trail.
Yep. And well, that's where the one spearhead was just recently found. Just to be quite honest.
Why don't you?
And but I got an old mill ground within 15 minutes of there. I've got an old iron mine campground within 10 minutes of there. There's just several properties that I got, and since we've been over to Fosseek, me and my wife doing the metal detecting and stuff, and learning that from Jocelyn, she really helped my wife out and helped me learn so I could keep pushing her forward on it. And just we're finding different things, and it might be interesting if you guys get a chance to come over here and for just a few days, and we can I'll show you a bunch of coins for one thing, because I've got a few that I haven't had authenticated yet, and maybe you can help me with those. And not to mention, I got 7 children. I'm leaving out all that stuff to my kids. But there are a few, because I got one child just went to college. If I could help him out, I'm going to sell what I got to sell. So.
Yeah, I mean,
he's in Michigan State, so
I'm happy to take a look at stuff for anybody, anytime. I mean, I'm generally pretty easy to get a hold of on my Facebook by shooting me a PM.
I wrote it down.
And I'm usually pretty free with my cell phone number too. So I mean, if it's something that I want to discuss a little further with you, I might say, "Hey, here's my cell. Give me a holler." Yeah, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. The other half,
you got my number. I always post it, so just text me yours if you want, and I will only contact you if I come across something interesting. That's the way I am, because I got old bottles, everything.
The only thing I ask is if folks get drunk, just don't drunk dial me at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh no, I won't do that. I go to bed.
Do that.
I mean,
now, Jeffy, I wouldn't actually do that.
It's okay. I mean, if people call me at like 3 in the morning and they start whispering nice things to me, but that whole drunk dial thing at 3:00 in the morning, I've gotten that a couple times, and that's not. I
won't do that, but Jesse knows I like to drink, but I won't actually drunk dial you. I usually try to keep my phone away from me when I've been drinking heavy. So.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have a phone when I drink anymore. Yeah, I'm just not allowed to have a phone when I drink anymore. It's just
I've been there, done that years ago.
Yeah, it's not a good combination for me and a phone and alcohol. Bad things.
Yeah, but I think I do have a few interesting properties with some history. The old mill grounds and the old trading post, I think is right up your guys' alley. I think Ed said he did a little bit of research and he's seen a few things. I'm not quite sure. My memory's shot. I'm an ex-drug addict, 19 years clean this year, matter of fact. So my brain is shot, but
it's all right.
Do everything for my
38
kids.
Years old, John. My brain's starting to like fry out on me from work.
Just wait till you're 57 and 60 wet, Jesse.
Yeah, but
he ain't going to answer that. He ain't going to answer that.
I'm 68 years old, sharp as a tack, but I can't remember what I did yesterday.
That's like my number one accomplishment every day.
Yeah, but I do everything for my kids, and that's the only thing that matters. Everybody knows I got 7, 4 of them's adopted. So that's what my whole goal is. But I do have some interesting things for you to check out and properties. And as long as everything's done good and right, I think you guys would have a really good time. They're good people, the landowners are. And not to mention what you find, there definitely won't be no conflict with anything. They're pretty easy to get along with. So
very cool, very cool. I think her and I had discussed coming back out for the next Fossick. We really enjoyed ourselves, had a great time. Everybody was awesome. I think if we do it next time, we're going to alternate years that we bring the kids maybe, and then this next one we're going to leave the kids at home.
There you go.
And we're going to enjoy it a little more ourselves, and then maybe the following year we'll bring the kids back again. We'll kind of rotate with them where we take.
Oh yeah,
we try to get them involved.
That works.
Because, you know, I mean, it's good family time. It's getting them interested in different things, broadening their minds, educating them. I like doing it, but it gets to be a handful at points. 4-year-old can be a handful. And it's been my son's 19 now, so like it's been a while since I've had to deal with 4-year-old and 7-year-old.
I've got mine range from.
But some days I just want to Homer Simpson them.
They're 9. Yeah, oh yeah, I know that feeling. But mine are 9, 13. And they're great with kids, so they're awesome babysitters. And then I've got a 19-year-old that just went to college, Michigan State. Then they're 22, 23, 24, and 25. So.
Jeez. You got me.
Me too.
All right. Well, I just wanted to call in real quick because you're very, very interesting. I did not know you had the knowledge of coins that you do. And I've probably got some you would really like to see.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. I've been in the hobby and around for like 14 years, and I get questions. I get quite a bit of questions, but then there's people who are like, "Oh, I didn't know that," and I'm like, "Talk about it all the time. You must not listen."
Well, I've got enough coins. I promise you, my one coin safe. It would take 4 men and a very heavy-duty dolly just to move it. So,
Jesus,
a whole lot of coins. Thanks for calling.
Oh yeah,
you're welcome to reach out anytime you like, and I will do what I can to answer as many questions as I can, not being with the coins in person, because that's always difficult. I can give you like ranges on prices, but I would not want to knock down a specific. If it's a really good collector's piece, especially, I wouldn't want to try unless it's certified. If it's certified, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
That's easy. But if it's
I've got a few.
You're very partial to that coin. You think it's mint state 65. I might look at the picture and go, that's like an AU coin, whatever. But you can't argue that fact just from pictures. You have to look at stuff. But if we come back out for Fossick, I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and go through whatever you want to go through.
All righty. Well, hey, Ed, Jesse, everybody, it was an awesome show tonight. And Drew, you are a great guest. And I hope to hear you again and meet you again also. And you and Jocelyn, just give me a call anytime. You guys always have a place to stay. So
thank you.
Hook, in the room, Jocelyn pasted a link to Drew's Facebook page.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. I'm going to snatch onto it now.
Thank you for joining.
I try not to watch that stuff anymore because I had so many complications before. I try not to look at it or anything anymore. So.
Facebook page also has my cell phone number too. I believe she's got that up on there. So
okay, I'm getting it right now. So
yep, easy to get a hold of me.
Yep, I got it. I'm saving it now. So thank you, and you guys have a good evening.
For you, for anybody, I mean, if you send me a message and I don't respond right away, just give me a hot minute. I mean, I might be in the middle of something. I mean, like I said, I do work a normal job at a shop, so I do have customers to tend to. But if you call and I don't answer, leave a voicemail. I will.
Oh, I will.
I do return calls. I do return messages. And I can't get to every person at that specific moment, but I will answer. So.
All righty. I really appreciate it. And Ed, awesome show tonight. Great guest.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See y'all later.
All of you are out there are worth the effort Jesse and Dano and I put into this. And
thank you.
We appreciate all of you. We have
bye-bye.
callers stacking up on us. The next in line, please, what's your name? Where are you calling from? That wouldn't be you, John. We love you,
all
brother. Right. Hold on. There's someone in front of you. Yes, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Is that a 419 area code?
419. Let me see. Yeah, it is. Is this Josh?
Man, I'll tell you what. I can't hide from anybody anymore.
How you doing, Josh?
All right. When I saw who your guest was going to be tonight, I had to sit down and catch a show and hopefully call in and voice my support. Drew is an absolutely great guy, an immense wealth of knowledge, not only in the hobby of detecting, but also in the community of coins as well. And just honored to have had the pleasure to have met him and been able to talk to him in the past. And you guys know as well, he can be a very entertaining and informative guest, but the real entertainment is when he's off the air.
Oh, yeah.
I have no filter sometimes. No, my filter is 110% tonight. Because I know this is a family-friendly educational show. And yeah, but sometimes when it's just me and the boys, or even her, my filter just goes away. There is no filter, and it gets interesting and fun all at the same time.
That it is, Drew. That it is.
Hey, you only live once. Enjoy yourself, you know?
Right.
Don't worry about what everybody else has to say, what everybody else has to think. Do for yourself, live for yourself, enjoy what you do. Who cares? You know, I mean, Christ, I could die. I could not wake up tomorrow. Knock on wood, it don't happen, but
let's hope not.
No, she still owes me some Christmas presents this year, so I gotta stick around for that.
Right. Man, although I do have a question for Drew. We know how Florida went. We know what he thought of Florida. You know, they've got things down there that could quite possibly eat people.
Yeah. Everything was either bite you and kill you or bite you and eat you.
Right, pretty much. I mean, I'm not seeing a real upside.
Either.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you've been fortunate enough to make many nice finds in the hobby and see a number of nice finds too because of the circles we all interact in. And you've been fortunate enough to hunt in a number of interesting locations, we'll say. But what's that next great location on the bucket list that you're hoping to get to?
Man, that's a tough call. Jeez. I would have to say I think my next bucket list location would be going for gold nuggets. Like detecting for gold nuggets. I did the whole panning thing in the creek. I'm kind of fat. I float there. I might wash away. I mean, it's just it is what it is.
Hey, next time you come, we'll get you behind a dredge, buddy.
Well, we'll give it a shot. Hey, look, the first time I did any kind of gold panning, searching, anything was at Waholek, and I had a blast. It was fun. I like my detecting though, and so I would go detecting for gold nuggets out west if I had an opportunity. I'd like to go to Alaska. I think Alaska would be awesome. I know I've chatted with Chuck Smalley a little bit about it. I mean, just maybe one of those paid expeditions where you just go and everything's already prearranged for where you're going to go, what you're going to do. I think that would be awesome. So,
I can't do that.
That would be my one location. I mean, I get to hunt Revolutionary War. I get to hunt Colonial. I get to hunt Civil War, 1812. Like all the major stuff is here. It's on the East Coast. It's in the Northeast. It's here. I mean, I've got it.
Right. Sometimes there is no place like home.
This is true. I mean, I've been out west. I've been to these ghost towns. Brandon, TJ, and Eric. All of them. They've taken me and Frank and me and my buddy Mike, and we've been all over the place in Idaho, up into the Sawtooth Mountains. Just like we hit all that stuff. It was great. It was awesome, but I think gold nuggets is my next thing.
Very nice. Very nice. Good to hear. Well, I'm going to hop off of here and let the other people chime in there, but definitely great to hear you tonight because Drew's a busy guy. When he's actually got the time to sit down like this, he really is a wealth of information to listen to. So continued success to you, Drew.
We were doing like the pre-show stuff from like 7:30 to 8, and they were like, "Man, you just you don't stop, you don't sit still, do you?" Because I was like bouncing around doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't him to stop.
Like this is driving me nuts right now. Like I'm sitting here and I got boxes of coins like in front of me, legitimately sitting here, and I'm like, man, I want to pull these coins out and start messing with these coins. Sitting still, I'm sitting still. ADD here.
Sit still. We need to get a good look at how you're looking here, and so he took us around his room down there earlier.
Right, I saw that.
You gotta sit during the show.
Yeah. But seriously, though, keep up the good work, Drew. Definitely an asset to the hobby. Great guy to know. Jesse, Ed, doing a great job with the show tonight. I'm going to get out of here.
Josh. That's Josh Kimball. Beyond Sight and Sound Radio. You can catch his show twice a week on Mixlr. Is that right? Oh, Spreaker. Sorry. Spreaker.
Yeah, we list on Spreaker, iHeart, iTunes.
And that's Sundays and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Is that correct?
That is correct, kind sir. Thank you for the mention.
Yeah, not a problem. I enjoy your show when I can catch it.
Right. Well, keep up the good work, guys.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks
for calling in.
One day I'd love to go out metal detecting with him. He lives about 45 minutes from me, Drew.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of actually hanging out and meeting Josh personally on Sam Waters' dig a couple years ago when we went to Ohio for that.
For the Morgan Raider thing.
Yeah, that's a good time. You know what? It's you get together with your friends, people that you don't get to see very often. You get to meet people that you might not normally get to meet. I just did that. We just went down to Virginia. North South Trader magazine put on a detecting seminar, and this lady Gina from California was there. And she's been listening and calling into the Detect America show for years. I've mailed her prizes. I know where the lady lives. Never had the pleasure of meeting her, but here she is in Virginia. And you know, hey, we got to hang out. We got to detect and have some fun. And that's what it's really all about, man. That's this. You know, the whole look at me. I found all this and all that. Look, hey, if you're enjoying yourself, that's what it's about. You know, you don't need, do you really need all the accolades for, you know, finding this and finding that? I just want to get out and have fun. I don't care if I find anything. As long as I'm out joking, screwing around, and then we go have some beers afterwards and we just get totally stupid and have some fun, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't have to find a damn thing.
Or my father-in-law used to go fishing, right? And I went fishing with him a couple of times. One time he was sitting there. I said, "How come you ain't catching anything?" He said, "I don't want to." I said, "What do you mean?" Pulled up his reel. He had nothing on his hook. He said, "No, I just like sitting out here acting like I'm fishing."
Hey,
you know?
look, hey, for some people, it's
It's not about the fishing. It's about being there.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. And you know what? I look at it this way: if I find something, that's just bonus. That's like I don't let it discourage me when I go to a place and I don't find jack squat. The finds are not what I'm after. It's the outdoor time. It's the relaxation. It's the camaraderie. That's what I'm really after.
Sounds a lot like our lifestyle.
All this kiddie Facebook drama BS. I could do without all that, man. I don't have time for it. I've got more important things to worry about, and I wish more people were just like that. You know, sometimes you get a couple nuts in there, and I got one guy messaging me at 6 o'clock this morning telling me that I'm a woman beater. I'm like, what? This Looney Tunes guy, man. I'm not going to go name drop him, but she had to block him. Looks like I'm going to have to block him because he messaged me through my business page. This guy's got like 6 Facebook accounts, criminal record.
Haters. We have another caller on the line, our good friend John Shaw, which I'm very, very glad you are not hurt, John. And I'm glad you're getting some good Southern hospitality from our good friend Spike Little, John.
Hey, John, how's it going, buddy?
Hey,
I'm glad you're okay.
Doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm okay. Truck's done seen its last days, but I'm okay.
That's good. So, how you figure out how you're gonna get home yet?
Well, I'm working on it. I've got a couple leads, but like I say, the dredge is okay, and everything else I think's all right. I'm not sure. It was getting dark, and so I really didn't get a chance to look at it all. But the dredge kind of come and said hello through the back window.
Ooh. Well, all I care about is my friend John Shaw is okay.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, a little shooken up, but I'm okay.
Okay, thank goodness.
Ed said if you break the dredge, I'll buy you a brand new one, whatever you want.
What?
Oh, okay.
He said as long as you're okay, you get whatever dredge you want.
All right.
It might take about 20 years to get to you, John, but
oh yeah. Well, it's like the check. It's always in the mail.
Yeah, it's in shipping. It must be held up at FedEx or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Stuck at the border.
But like I said, I just wanted to call and let everybody know I am okay though.
Very good. And, very good news, my friend.
Glad to hear that.
And like I say, I figure folks hearing it from me would believe it a whole lot more than everything else.
John Shaw was also at Faucet Drew. You probably met him when you talked to the GPS crew.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I was the one that had the big Indian head coin, and you found that other big coin on the night. The night hunt.
Yes. You know, I'll tell you what, man. I got to meet a lot of great people at that event. There's some people that I know from the metal detecting community that were there, and a lot of new people. Everybody was very friendly. Just a very, very nice event to go to. I mean, I would recommend it to anybody. family friendly, kid friendly, good time. Just enjoy it, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, like I say, I did that, and I wanted to say hello to you, Drew, and it was great
Well, thank
meeting
you
you
very
and
much.
Jocelyn.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great evening now.
Well, thanks for calling in,
You-
John. I'm glad you're okay, and hope you make it home all right.
All right. Y'all take care.
You
Bye.
too.
Later.
Thanks, John. Yeah, John Shaw on his way home and had a wreck. Well, thank God he's not hurt.
Uh-oh. I gotta see what's going on.
Uh-oh, dog wants outside. Jesse will be right back. I had a question in the room earlier about shipping. Do you ship internationally, Drew?
Yes and no. If I sell an item through eBay, I will use their global shipping program. The reason I will use that is because once it gets to Erlanger, Kentucky, I am no longer responsible for it if it gets lost. It is then the carrier's problem after that. It's eBay's problem after that. I try to keep my customers happy and satisfied. If there is a problem, I try my best to make it right for them. But sometimes like I had one that went to Italy's an awful country to ship to. They steal your packages in Italy left and right. Israel's another awful country. France. Some of these countries are postal, whatever you want to call it. They're awful. They break into your packages and steal your stuff. I remember having a pen pal in Russia when I was a kid, and I sent a whole big package of like Hot Wheels cars. Never made it. Somebody stole that. You know,
oh, wow.
If I'm dealing with somebody that I've conversed with back and forth via email or through Facebook, and we establish a business relationship, we start off small, work our way up. Okay, then I might do something. But you know, I had a guy. Oh, what country was it? Somewhere down in South America. He wanted this coin, and it wasn't on the global shipping program list. And he hounded me and hounded me and hounded me. And I said, fine, I'll ship it to you. But if it doesn't make it there, I'm not responsible. I don't want to hear about it. No crying. It was like a $25 coin. And lo and behold, it never made it. And I said to the guy, I told you this is why I don't want to ship to your country, because your own people are stealing your stuff. You know, and then they expect me to give them another $25 coin. Now I'm out $50. I can't do that. So I'm very cautious when I ship overseas. England's okay. Canada's okay. Canadians are a little bit of a weirdo, though. No, I'm just kidding.
Is Liz still in here?
No, Canada's okay. Just be cautious. No, there are reviews out there for countries and where you can ship to, and if it's going to be a hassle. But for the most part, no, it's not too bad. If it's a personal order, again, it's got to be somebody that I establish a relationship with.
Okay, I think that question was from a Kiwi. Might have been Christie's Kiwis Adventures, but there was another question from that particular person. Let me try and find it.
New Zealand and Australia, that's not those are no-brainer countries. You know, they're easy to deal with.
Okay, speaking of Australia, we have our good friend David Buckle on the line with us. How you doing, David?
I'm all right, Ed. How are you all?
Good, good. It's a long
what's
time
up,
no
David?
see,
Long
our
time
friend.
no see, buddy.
Long time no see. I've been under the radar, man. I've been hiding out. I'm not even in Tasmania. I'm on the mainland of Australia.
Right.
Oh, did you move?
Yeah. What happened is I haven't moved. I've been battling with back injury. You probably know. I've probably mentioned to you before for a long time. And I've been on these heavy-duty painkillers, and I pretty well got addicted to them. And I wanted to get off of them, and I knew that I'd be a pain in the ass if I was around anyone. So what I did, I brought the SDC 2300 MineLab gold detector, and I come over to the mainland. So I've just been going out in the bush and hanging out by myself, and starting to feel a bit clearer now. So I'm going to be heading home soon.
Cool. Very good. I'm glad to hear that. I personally know some people that took that a little too far to other things, and I'm glad you're not among those ranks, my friend.
Yeah, no, it's a hard one. I've just got to deal with the pain now, but yeah, I'll lose a bit of weight, and should help, you know. All that big belly of mine's not going to help those discs in my back, you know.
Right.
You gotta lay off them Vegemite sandwiches.
Yeah. Sandwiches. Hey, Ed.
Yes, sir.
That SDC 2300, I'm going to clean up when I get back to Tassie. I'm just going to walk up the rivers. I'll show you some of the gold I've been getting here. Nothing big. It's amazing how small it can pick up. Like, I've got check this out. I'm getting 0.03 of a gram.
Wow.
So that's like 3 pieces to 0.1 of a gram.
That's pretty small.
Tiny, man. Tiny.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Dano did say you've been doing a lot of metal detecting videos lately.
Right.
Yeah. It was winter in Tasmania when I left, and the rivers were right up, and I couldn't get in sniping, and we're not allowed to dredge, as you know. So I thought, I love gold. I don't want to bloody sit around all winter, so good opportunity to do something different that's involving gold and, you know, get out in the bush.
Who you going out with? Red Dog or with Anthony or Chris?
I was meant to hook up with everyone over here, and I wasn't well. Man. As I said, I was, you know,
right.
Giving up that medication and that, so I've just stuck to myself. I've really.
That's understandable.
Yeah, addiction's a hard thing to get over, but it's not impossible.
Oh no, man! I feel empowered. I feel like that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So I should be able to do anything now. Hey, check out this specie I found. I'll just go and get it. It's tiny.
Okay.
But what?
That's the one you were talking about on the chat room.
I put the detector over this bit of quartz. It Mullykeep, like where the old timers back in like 1850, they used to dig holes in the ground and they'd leave a mullykeep, and there was a bit of quartz the size of an apple, and it was giving a reading. It was like I was going over and it was whoop, whoop. So I broke it open. Check this out. I don't know what you can see. Wait up. You see that?
Oh,
yeah. Hold it still.
Oh, there you go.
It's tiny, but it's bloody. I'm happy as. Check out these other pieces. I'll show you these other pieces I found. I can't see what you can see, so you let me know when I'm focused, okay?
Okay.
They're tiny. The biggest one's 0.6 of a gram or something like that. Tell me when you can see it.
Right there.
Bring it in closer.
Oh, he froze.
Huh?
He froze.
I guess the internet connection in mainland Aussie can be as bad as in Tassie.
But that's pretty small for picking it up with a metal detector.
And that was a MineLab wet. Did you cut that right, Drew?
Yeah, that's the SDC. That's a good machine. I've had the pleasure of playing with one of those briefly. Yes, it will pick up very. What the heck did we get? It was something I got on the Jersey Beach. It was like a straight pin. It was picking up a straight pin at like 8 inches.
Wow.
I mean, it was yeah, a little tiny straight pin. I mean, little thin, tiny straight pin it picked up off the beach. So, I mean, it's sensitive to small targets. Yeah, absolutely. I can see why he's finding them little pieces of gold like that. Absolutely.
So Dan Zoller says that the gold monster even goes smaller than those by far.
Oh, absolutely. As far as I'm aware, it does. That's what I want to get out. I want to get out and play with some of that stuff. That's what I want to go find.
We might need a Mind Lab gold monster or something to play around with.
I think I want the what is it, the GPX 4500, because then I can use that for relics down in Virginia and gold out west, and I got 2 covered then.
There you go.
Yeah. Very cool.
If Debbie's watching, hint, hint.
I wink, wink, say no more. Oh, man. Great show tonight, Drew.
Yep. Definitely very informative. People have been engaged.
I hope I didn't spoil my appearance on Maddie's show next Monday. I mean, they're probably going to be asking me a lot of the same. I hope they paid attention tonight so they don't ask me the same stuff.
Well,
they did. They'll ask you again.
They'll
be different people.
Room, and they're on Facebook, so.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, Maddie's a great kid, man. I really love that. I really love his enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
We had him on the show, him and his dad, just a few weeks ago. It was a really good time.
Yeah, they're good people. They're really good people. I try to get along with everybody I can. You know, there's always that one or two DB that you just can't get along with, and they some of these guys, they think they're a legend, or they think they're, maybe the button daddy or something. I don't know. Some of them are just ugh. But Matt and Matty are top notch.
Yeah, I like his enthusiasm. He's definitely enthusiastic about everything he does.
Oh yeah, he puts on. He does a good job, I gotta give that kid a lot of perks for what he does. He puts on a good show with some good guests. I know Quarter Hoarder's been on there, and Redbeard, and Jocelyn, and a lot. You soon.
Yep.
And David, don't worry about it, buddy. We understand. Well, let me get in one more quick commercial. It's audio, so just stay there being yourself. And I'll be quiet for a second while we hear from our friend MDV at iPan for Gold. Make sure I don't have
this is Michael from iPanForGold.com. I love to receive emails and photos of the gold my friends recover from our pay dirt, and they're not too shy to tell me about it either. Just check out some of the reviews, photos, and even videos that they have posted on our Facebook page. In fact, here are some of my not-so-shy friends now.
I'm Aaron, and I pan for gold.
I'm Caleb, and I pan for gold.
I'm Ed Marvin, and I pan for gold.
I'm Erica, and I pan for gold.
I'm James, and I pan for gold.
I'm Jern, and I pan for gold.
I am John, and I pan for gold.
I'm Mark, and I pan for gold.
I'm Tony, and I pan for gold.
This is Rob from Nashville, and I pan for gold.
Be sure and check our Facebook page and website for the latest offers, blog articles, and videos. What's in your pan? I hope it's pay dirt from iPanForGold.com.
And if you want to see any reviews for MDV's pay dirt, check out Golden Pay Dirt Reviews. I know he has one or two. And if you feel like buying a bag of pay dirt, there's a link below in the description.
Yeah, that's a reputable place. Michael David does a good job giving you plenty of gold in your bags, and you can, it's a reputable guy.
Michael is definitely a stand-up man. That he is. Again, Drew, I'm glad your phone battery has held up.
I'm at 14%, and I just had to move over so I could plug it in just in case, make sure it didn't.
We're at 14. Yeah, about a half an hour ago, Mr. Lodak was saying your battery's running low.
Yeah, we're running on. It's about 10:30. It's 10:30 now, so we're getting close.
That we are. Let me see. I'll get my ugly mug back up here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight with our good friend and special guest, Drew. You can catch glimpses of him on the Relic Recoverist videos. Oh, I do have a question. A personal question. Do you say effing you on
That
the
is
intro?
No, and actually that is not me. That is her friend John Hitchcock, and I'm pretty sure he's saying, "Look at you, look at you," and yeah, no, that's John. He's a super great guy.
Okay, I always thought it was you.
Yeah,
like,
it does sound like that, doesn't it?
I'm like,
I never
is he saying F and you?
See, you spoiled it for me because I never said anything to her about that. She's left it on there so I can laugh about it every time I watch a video.
Well, on this last video I watched, you can't hear it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he's saying, "Look at you."
Okay, I could always swear it was like effing you, or not like that, but like effing you.
I don't cuss her out, so I think that's what it is. But yeah, that's not me.
Oh, I had to ask about it.
She has to edit out most of what I say because there's again no filter. Family friendly quality video programming that she puts on, and
she does.
And I need to be.
And that's not you.
You're friendly and you're fun, but not always family friendly.
I have pretty good self control when I have to. So I mean, if there's kids around, if I'm on something like this, I know there could be kids watching. You know, I didn't drop anything tonight.
You did better than I did tonight.
Not one slip, which is really
you did great. Thank you very much, Drew, for your time. I know your time's valuable, and we appreciate you taking your time to be with us here tonight. I fully enjoyed tonight's show with you, buddy. And I definitely look forward to seeing you sometime again on the river or in the field.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. Can't wait. And don't forget there's the gold show going on in October.
27th and 28th at Clark County Fairgrounds in Springfield, Ohio.
Correct. We'll be there.
There will be that's the only show for the East Coast. So if you want to make a GPA Golden Treasure show, come to that one. They canceled the one in North Carolina. So come on out. Come by, see Jesse, Dano, and I. Say hello. I have an evil thought, you know. I think it would be hilarious if more people come to talk to us and say hi to us than Emily Rydell. I know, I'm terrible, huh? All right, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. From the bottom of my heart, we appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the Flash in Your Pan family. Until then, may you always have a flash in your pan.
And most of you know what he's going to say next.
That's right. Maybe one day, too, we'll meet you on the river or on the field. Until then, good night, y'all.
Good night, Ed. Good night, Drew.
Good night, Jesse.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Come back next week. We have Gypsy Jewel with us from Zero Discrimination.
Super lady. Love her.